Come on. I have my little fur baby here today. Oh, let me turn off my notifications really fast. Let's see. Alright, there we go. Don't know if this will be going slow or not. I hope not. My internet seems to be going slow today. There's a storm on its way here, so. Alright. Anyways, for the most part today, I'm just going to flow. But I do have some things I actually wanted to talk about. So, first of all, I guess we'll get started on talking about one of the things that I came to realize and kind of just remembered in a sense. It's that for a very, very, very long time, we have been living in a mental patriarchy world. And this is actually part of the natural flow that life, death, and rebirth is a part of. We go through, what humanity goes through a lot is like ups and downs of like golden ages and iron ages. And these iron ages are where humanity is at its lowest point, and it's called the dark ages as well. We're actually just starting to come out of this dark age into and rising back into a golden age. But everyone doesn't quite understand, these cycles of life, the flow of life, and humanity goes through these ups and downs of like golden age, back to bronze or silver age, bronze age, and iron age, which is the dark ages, and we go back up again. And right now we're actually just finally starting to come out of the dark age, and that actually started like, let's see. Actually, that started 5 years ago, so we're doing pretty good. In 2012, the Mayan calendar, that's all it was talking about, was that turning point in the ages. It was talking about the turning point in the, the cycles. And life is nothing but cycles. If we take a step back and look at everything, we'll see the patterns and we'll see the cycles. Sometimes before I had an understanding of this, it drove me crazy because I thought these cycles weren't normal. Like I was not okay with it. I was like, these patterns need to be broken. But the thing is that that's just what it is. It's just humanity goes through these cycles, and it's perfectly normal. It's the universe's way of creating order out of chaos. And hi everyone coming on. Thank you for coming. I love you too. It's been a while since I've been live. I've been really busy planning my trip to Egypt. But I have some time today. So the cycles that that humanity goes through is, completely normal. And normal. It's very frequent, and we kind of what we've been stuck in with these dark ages, the dark age that we've gone through with humanity being so sucked under into this, we've been having this patriarchy mental world where the masculine rules, and I'm not just talking about the masculine as in the third dimensional view of that, like the males have the better jobs and things like that. No, I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about the masculine side of everybody as well. So like our masculine side, even in the feminine, we all have feminine and masculine inside of us. And even inside of us, the masculine has ruled for ages. We've allowed the masculine inside of ourselves to rule us, and that's kind of what has just created the world that we are in. We're so okay. So and then the mental. We've just been a world where we're stuck in our heads. Where humanity has just been stuck in the mental aspect of ourselves. And we have been, so these are muscles that we have been strengthening, and we have been using our mental and masculine side for a very, very, very long time. And this is only because this is what it turned into over time. This is just what this cycle brought us into. And where we have been letting, and along with our egos as well, for the longest time, we have been taught to strengthen those muscles. When you think of it as a muscle, that really is, because they're senses. They're part of our senses. We only use 5 senses when we're supposed to use 360 senses. And this includes all of our pretty much our entire body. Our etherical, astral, all of those senses, we're supposed to be using them. But for the longest time, we have only been using 5 senses that are associated with these parts of ourselves that we have also been just exercising, And we've lived in a patriarchy world, and that does not mean that men rule, because women are starting to, the feminine is rising up again, and the feminine has been able to have quite a bit of control as well. But within ourselves as well as this masculine, we have allowed to just take control and take over, and we've been strengthening these, and our senses are like muscles. We have to use them and continuously use them so that they can grow power, so that they can get stronger, just like you would a muscle. And so we've been using these muscles for so long, and in generations. It's encoded in our DNA. And so it's kind of become the norm to be born and just be like everyone else and use only our 5 senses, the things we can see, hear, feel, touch, taste, and use your mind and think about everything. Don't do anything else. Think rational, think logical, think in a box, think squared, don't think curved, don't think, we've been, and all that matters is, reputation, or if you're right, or if somebody's wrong. We've been, these things aren't wrong. There are gifts that we are given when we come to Earth. But we have been strengthening just those muscles. And so this means that everything else is out of balance. And that's why it's been so chaotic, and that's why it's even been in in like what seems like a chaotic time and the dark ages is because when we're in the golden age, everything is in balance. The masculine, the feminine, the mind, the body, the spirit, and all of the senses are in balance with each other. Humanity right now is doing its best to lift itself back up and come back into the golden age. But the way to get there is to strengthen the other muscles. We've been, even if we are not aware of it, Erez Bar or CC, are you vegan? Yes, I'm vegan. but so we've been, allowing our masculine sides to rule. We've been giving a lot of power to the masculine energy and the ego and all and our mental, our left side of our brain. And what needs to be done is that not to completely, oh, that's bad, it's what's caused the chaos, so we need to shut it down and stop using it completely. That is not the case at all. It is just that we need to begin working on our right side of our brains, the feminine side, the rest of our senses, so that way it can come into balance. Nothing needs to stop being used. It just needs to come back into balance and harmony with our spirit, our mind, our body, our spirit, the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, and all of our senses, and with nature, above, below. It just needs to come back into harmony by us doing the work that it takes to bring balance back into it. We need to, strengthen those muscles that we have been neglecting for generations upon generations. And because we've been all we've been doing is, exercising the muscles that our masculine sides have and that our mental has. We need to bring in the bigger picture. We need to begin to use our intellectual, our physical, our spiritual, and our mental all together. We need to practice them as much as we have been for generations with just our mental and just the left side of our brain and just the masculine part. And this kind of leads me to so the ancients knew all about the ancients, the ones that when they were in the golden age, when they were on the upcycle, they knew about the balance and the connection and the senses, and they knew about everything that we're barely starting to remember. It's not that we're starting to understand it, we're starting to remember it. When we go down into these dark ages, we get so, we just get amnesia. We come born, and when we're born into these times of, chaos and kind of the low point of society. I think that it froze. Did it freeze? I don't know what's going on. I think did it freeze? Am I still going? Am I still good? Okay. I think I'm still good. I hope so. Okay, anyways. No, it didn't freeze. Okay. So they knew about our endocrine systems. They knew about our system and our immune systems and our chakras. And the thing about that is, exactly, Allison. We've been living in just certain pieces, of the puzzle. We've been living in the lower chakras. We've been living in our mental mind, our left side of the brain, the masculine part of ourselves. and we just need to bring it back into balance so that we can rise higher, so that we can be where where humanity is so desperately trying to be right now. And they knew about the chakras, and the thing about the chakras is they are just, even if you don't believe in them, they're associated with the glands in our body that are the most important glands. And one of the things that I've really, for the longest time, I thought the heart chakra was associated with the heart. And I'm sure a lot of you guys all do as well. But the funny thing is, it's actually associated with the thymus gland. And it's the very center of our bodies. And a lot of you know that, but if you don't, the thymus gland is actually very important. It's big. It starts out a big gland when we're born, and then and then we hit puberty, and it shrinks. And this is actually where because it's right in the middle. And our heart is actually more on the left side, but our thymus gland is right in the middle, and that's exactly right in the center of our bodies and our soul. It's the seat of the soul, and it's the thymus gland. And so for the longest time, I thought it was associated with the heart, which in a way it is emotionally. But the thymus gland is what the ancients really knew was important. It's the seat of our soul. It is what really brings balance to everything. It's where, honestly, the thymus gland is also what allows us to have telepathy with other beings, because we connect to ourselves and the universe and all of the beings around us through our heart chakra. And the ancients knew how important it was, and it's just another muscle as well. It's like everything that we just because when our thymus gland is activated, we have really good health, we have emotional balance, everything is just going pretty dang good. But what we've been thinking for so long is that our body is just working for us, and it's doing everything that we need it to do, and we don't need to do any of the work. But the thing is we've been strengthening the thinking muscle, and we've been strengthening that muscle of the ego, and the ego doesn't like to do work. That we forget that if we that we actually have control over our bodies, and this is why we get sick and everything, because we're just depending on our body to take care of us, and when we don't, we go to somebody else to take care of us, and we're just sitting here in sickness and don't know what to do. But we've been strengthening the muscles that don't support our bodies and our spirits and just everything else fully, because nothing else is in balance. So just like you would strengthen a muscle to exercise, it's the same with our glands. We have to do what is necessary for all of our other senses and all of our other glands, our chakras, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to associate it with. We need to strengthen those, because we've been working the other ones for so long just because it's familiar, just because it's been programmed. It's just been the cycle that we've been in. But in order for humanity to rise up again, we need to bring it all into balance again. And that doesn't mean to shut off another part because you've been working it too much, because then that one will get weakened. You just need to begin to balance them so that they're equal. The right side of the brain, the left side of the brain, the masculine and the feminine, the mind, the body, and the spirit, the intellectual, spiritual, physical, mental, all of it. Okay, so, and our fields, okay, our energetic fields, okay, all of our senses is also around us. If we set the intention, we can sense 360 degrees, 360 senses, 360 degrees around us, right? And our energy fields, I don't know if they go down and up. I don't know. Mine feels like it goes down in this way. Maybe different for everyone else, but mine feels like it goes this way, right? But let's see if I can get in the screen. It goes this way, okay? And that's the Taurus field in, or that's the Taurus field, and it's just our energetic field. It's our aura. So many different names, but it's been proven it's there, just like everything else that I'm talking about. It's been proven that it's there, and it all needs to be in balance, because so our energetic fields either go this way or this way, right? And the thing about that is, okay, see it as an arrow, right? I'll back up. So if you see it as an arrow, if the arrow is pointing this way, if the arrow is pointing inward, right? So if I was going like this and the arrow was like this, the arrow is pointing inward, but the edges of the arrow are pointing outward. What this allows is, and this can be up, with our energy field, or our energy field, or projecting and injecting. It's probably not the right word, but when we go inward, okay, when we go inward, the arrow looks like this, right? This, and we've been like this for so long. Our arrow has been like this for so long, okay? We have strengthened the muscle of our personal arrow going this way. And what that's been doing is, do you see how there's a point and then all of the rest right here is blocked off? So the arrow is like this, right? Our energy field, our personal space, our channels, our arrows have been Joey, I just said I'm flowing. I had a few points I wanted, but what flowing means is that I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I'm letting spirit talk through me. But, so our arrow is, of our channels, our chakras, whatever. It's been facing this way for so long. We've mastered our field being like this, where there's a tiny little space for us to project out into, and everything else is blocked off, right? We give a little tiny space right here at the very tip for things to come into, whereas though when we project, it's quite powerful. It's like the pyramid effect, right? This is our arrow, and so we can direct it towards something, but it gets mirrored back at us. I'm gonna do another live about mirrors, but hopefully by then I can find a house of mirrors. But we can direct it at something, right? Our arrow, okay? We can direct it at something, but it gets reflected back at us. But our arrow is still this way, so what it does is a little bit comes back to us, and the rest of it is blocked off. But we've perfected that, and that's the other spectrum of the teeter-totter, the balance, of everything. That's the one side. All we've been doing is strengthening certain muscles for too long, and they're too strong compared to the other muscles and the other senses, channels, chakras, everything like that. And so when we as a collective allow our arrows to point this way, that allows, and we do this because we've been taught, because this leaves us kind of vulnerable, right? It leaves our channels open. It leaves our fields open to the world and to what life and being human and being a multi-dimensional spiritual being, what all of that has to offer us. And we leave, and what we need to do is flip from this back to this. Of course, don't block this part off, because that's a very handy tool, but and it's part of the balance. But the other side of the spectrum we've been ignoring, and we haven't been practicing. And this is where our arrow, our channels, everything like this, or going like this, right? We or like this, as our chakras, our vortexes, whatever you want to associate this with. This really goes with anything and for anything. So when our arrow is pointed this way, it allows things to come in from all areas, from all ways. And we have been so afraid of that we stay in this. And while that is good because it can protect us or whatever we need it to do at the time, or project so that for whatever reason you go, so that's good to have, but we've been staying like this, and we need to strengthen this back up, because it allows more to come to us, and that includes the good things, that includes what we're asking for and what we're wanting. And so we allow that to come directly to us when we allow our arrow to be this way. It allows, and then also by using this part of the arrow, what we project from this tiny space goes everywhere, right? It goes out there. It goes where it needs to go and where it is meant to go, rather than us just doing this all of the time and projecting directly to one spot and only giving a tiny space for what we want to come in or what we don't want to come in. Whereas those things that we don't even want can be gifts to us. And so we need to just bring that balance back in of both sides of the arrow, right? Of both sides of the arrow. And that was actually something I just recently saw in a meditation. But all that humanity needs to do isn't to block off or stop using anything. It's that we need to strengthen the other senses, muscles, abilities, all of those things. We just need to bring it back into balance. And we're learning how to do that. We are learning how to do that. It takes work to be human, but that should be the fun of it. But it's not fun because we've been strengthening those muscles for a very long time. And life is actually really truly a game. We're source, our higher selves, whatever you want to call it, are constantly trying to show us things in our natural world that are messages, and it's kind of like a game. And yeah, that my cat, that's Hunter. He loves being here while I do live videos. And so all we really need to do is just bring into balance what we haven't been using. We need to learn about our immune system, our metabolism, our glands, and we need to learn about psychic development, creativity, art, because it may seem like the feminine is rising. It may seem like we're coming back into balance. But look at the world around you. Look at the third dimensional world around you. There's art is still not accepted as a career. Creativity is still not accepted as well. And we just need to bring this balance back in. We need to keep doing what we're doing and just keep going, because it is happening. It's already happening. You know, it's already happened. But we just need to remember these things. We need to bring this into physical manifestation, and in ourselves and outside of ourselves. Because yes, because with that arrow, where we've spent so long projecting, we need to bring that arrow inward, okay? And even though some are born with you know, perfectly using those abilities, well, you are the people that are bringing the balance back in. You know, you are the people that have been called to bring that balance back in. Because, believe it or not, humanity cannot do it alone. Okay? I mean, go within. But we are all one. Okay? We're all one. So that means that the balance of the outward arrow and the inward arrow need to be in balance. The outside, or the inside and the outside, the above and the below, the you, the me, the one, needs to be in balance. Okay? And, so humanity is on its way, but a lot don't understand about the cycles. They're natural. They don't need to be fought, because humanity will go through ups and downs. It's the highs and the lows of humanity and life. It's the life, the death, the rebirth. It's balance. It's order from chaos and chaos from order, because that is the balance of it. You know, oneness is the bad and the good, the chaos and the order, the ups and the downs. And it is the you and the me. Okay? And you know, I feel like I should bring in the mirror thing right now, but I really want to save that for a different live video, because that's a whole nother topic all in itself that I downloaded or remembered, or whatever you would like to call it. But, so, with that being said, actually, I got drawn to pull a card for the collective lately, you know, with the collective energies, because I went into meditation today, and whenever I do this, I'm able to really tune into the collective energies, and it's doing pretty good. You know, humanity's doing pretty good. It seems chaotic right now, but humanity is actually, you know, we're coming together. Like, in these moments, when I begin to feel the collective energy, this is when I know everything is exactly the way that it should be. And so I'm going to pull a card for the collective energies right now. So like I said, I'm just flowing. It may seem all over the place, but whatever. Spirit, is what it is. And I'm really feeling the flow today. It's a beautiful day. It must be the pendant I got from hopeevolved.com. Look at that. I posted about it, but look at that beautiful pendant. I can't, for the life of me, remember exactly what it is, but it's beautiful. As soon as I put it on, my vibration was just like, whoo, freaking like went way up there. And so at www.hopeevolved.com, there's a lot more than just jewelry. You should check it out. So, okay, there it is. Look at that. That is, oh my gosh. I love when this happens. Okay, so here's the card for the collective energies. It's vision. It's the Seven of Stones, and it's the Sphinx and the pyramids in Egypt. Talk about synchronicity, right? I'm going to Egypt. To the Sphinx and the pyramids. So the collect, and it's number 7. And I'm talking about bringing everything back into balance. I love when Spirit does this. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you, Source. So this is so great. Okay, so number 7, there's 7 chakras, right? 7 is the number of the 7 chakras, and it's a very important number for balance. And with vision, so humanity is beginning to come into their pretty much what is going on with the collective is we are beginning to ground our spiritual abilities into the physical plane. And when these things happen, I know that the dimensions are all together, that they are all one, because we're bringing these higher dimensional energies and abilities and gifts into this third dimensional plane. And so we're beginning to know what to do again. We're beginning to remember what to do. We're finding the path together as a whole. We're finally being clear about what the pathway is. And we're really getting in touch with who we are as individuals and as a collective. And we're finally we're beginning to realize what it is that needs to be done to bring ourselves into alignment as we're shifting into these new higher states of consciousness. And this is just a beautiful card. It's one of my favorites. And this is the collective energies card. And so it's the Seven of Stones, and it's the Earth card, but it also has to do with our abilities and our vision. This is just the balance of everything. So what humanity needs to keep focusing on, what the collective needs to keep focusing on, is exactly what I was just talking about. Bringing the balance from the higher realms to the lower realms, the higher chakras to the lower chakras, our upper field to the lower field, and vice versa. And it's the infinity symbol. What happens at one side is bound to happen on the other side and come back around and do it again. And wow, that's beautiful. So man, I'm flowing today. So as I was saying, is we've been so stuck in a patriarchy world of ego and the mental world. Now we need to come back into balance by bringing the intuitive, loving, spiritual and feminine side back in. It's not that we need to stop using our ego, but no, I don't mean in the sense of where I'm right, you're wrong, little thinking. It's more of like a protection thing, like a self-defense of natural danger and natural fear. Like if you're going to get eaten, your ego is what helps you to get out of that situation. And so it's not that we need to stop using it. It's that we need to begin to work on more of our other abilities. We need to work on that thymus gland. We need to detox it and activate it and activate our heart chakras, because this is the connection to the all. It is the connection to everybody and everything. It's my connection to you and your connection to me. And it's so important that not just that, because I can tell you work on your thymus gland, but if you work on just that again will still just throw everything out of balance. Do what we can to bring it all into balance. It's work, and that's why most people don't want to do it. But if we're tired of being in the state that we are in, of being unhappy or bored or anything like that, and just stuck in separation, we do need to bring it all into balance. And but again, understand that there is flows, the ups and the downs. So there is so there will be moments where we're up and there will be moments where we're down. But this is when we find that neutral zone, is when we begin to say, I'm tired of the ups and downs. Find the neutral zone. Go into the heart chakra, because that is where the all is. That is where the Zen is. That is where both sides of the spectrum is. Because it's not just this side of the arrow and this side of the arrow. It's where they meet. Right in the middle, right? And this is where we can find this balance as well. This goes with everything. Our heart chakra is right in the middle. It's right in the middle of our bodies, and it's right in the middle of our energetic centers. And we need it all to work in balance. And humanity will rise again. It is rising. It has risen. But this message is for those who don't know where to begin, or a simple reminder for those who have forgotten. Because with the energies of like everybody just finally, getting rid of the gunk that is unnecessary for us to move forward, it is hard. It's easy to have that blur our vision again. And and that's when it's important to go within and find ourselves and find the neutral point, the in-between. A long time ago, I vowed to be the neutral point. I thought that would be impossible for me. I was either always up or I was either always down. There was no in-between at all for me. There was never in-between. I was always like the extremes. But there was that point where I was like, okay, well, this isn't bringing balance to me, myself, my life, or anything at all. So that's enough. I need to find the neutral point. I need to be the neutral point. I need to be the calm in the storm of the extremes. And then when I vowed to do that, it was already available to me. It's already there. I just had to remember it. I just had to accept it and not resist it. And that really goes with everything else too. And so it was already there. And that's another thing that we just need to remember. It's all already there. We just need to remember it instead of resisting it, And Joanna, she said, how do you walk away from a toxic situation when you want to fight back? The reason you want to fight back is because of ego and because of triggers. Now, know that there's nothing wrong with this, okay? All it is this conditioning, the muscles that we have been strengthening. It's the wounds we've had. It's just part of being human. But, again, take that moment to stop and go within and go to your heart center, because it's not just love that's there. It's the all that's there. It's the neutral point. It's everything is there, not just love, not just gooey romantic feelings that's there. It's the all that's there. It's the connection that's there. So go into your heart space when you feel like fighting back. Go to your heart space and see, why is this situation affecting me so badly? Why is this situation or person triggering me so much? What emotions am I feeling, and what can I do about it that is in the highest good of all? Now, that will take practice, but if you're tired of being unhappy, it's what's necessary. You know, it is, if you want to rise higher, and we do as individuals have to rise higher so that humanity as a whole can rise higher. And so it's important to do this inner work, you know, because there will be no point where we're done with our inner work. We have to always, in every situation, look inside of ourselves so that way we can help those outside of ourselves. The inner work never stops. But that is the gift of being human, because we get to experience this. You know, we want to go right back to being blissful and being Source. But the reason why Source broke off into many other versions of itself was because it was because we need to experience this through because it wanted to experience this through us. You know, why else? Why else? And don't refer back to conditional religious thinking, you know. It is, you know, go within. You know, don't even listen to what I'm saying. If you don't resonate with it, go within yourself. Or if you resonate with it, go within yourself, you know. And because ultimately we know the answers, but it is dropping of the ego, and it is strengthening the other muscles. It's bringing everything back into balance, not just certain parts. So this includes all of our spiritual abilities. You know, some of us are born with knowing certain abilities that we have. Some of us only focus on strengthening one ability. For example, if you now want to be psychic, all of us have this ability, but if you want to be psychic, you focus on just that. You focus on just doing that. That will still bring all of your other abilities out of alignment. This is why spirituality kind of takes over our lives, is because it's work, you know, to bring balance to our life, to be happy, but that's also the balance, right? You're working to be blissful, and you're blissful to work. Like, it's just the balance of it. And, you know, because we can come into this, this flow of constant bliss and happiness and connection with our angels, our higher selves, or which aren't actually separate from us, but still, it's just for labels, understanding, communication's sake. We can be in this constant flow, but still, nothing is in balance because we're way up there, and there's nothing but chaos happening around us. That means something is out of alignment, and it's nobody but ourselves. So If our reality is chaotic, that means something is chaotic inside of us. If our reality is out of balance, then that means something is out of balance inside of us, because that's just the way the universe works. As long as we are still in this physical form, we are still in the third dimensional reality, and we still have to follow the laws of the universe that are associated and have to do with this third dimensional reality. So, I believe that's my flow for today. Yep. Thank you all for sharing, and thank you for those who have come and listened to me. I really appreciate it. I also have an announcement. I will be in Egypt from July to early August, and I won't, well, I may or may not, I'll go with what Spirit says. I may or may not go live, but I will definitely go live when I come back. I'll be taking pictures and things like that. But I will be there, but if you are wanting a reading or a healing or anything like that from me, it needs to be scheduled ahead of time. Even if you don't have the money at the time, at least tell me before July you're going to want a healing or a reading or anything like that for me, any of my services, then let me know beforehand that you're planning it, at least, so that we can schedule it, because for at least a week or for at least 2 weeks, I'll be in Egypt, and most of my days will be about exploring and learning. So I'll still, well, somebody's here, so I guess that's it. The website is www.theinner